So, Dork and Dorker has a playtest, and I played it.
No, I'm dying.
Don't dare to attack Duzan! Gang, help me!
I have 3 dogs on me.
I'm about to die. Wow, incredible job, guys.
Game, so like,
Dork and Dorker is essentially Tarkov meets D&D. So yes, it's an extraction shooter, but in a fantasy-ish world, so more of a extraction slasher. And if you're new to the extraction genre, the gist is get in, loot the place and get dripped out. Oh, I changed my drip, you're a priest now. Do you need spiritual guidance? I am here to help. Don't die and get out, with the don't die part being especially hard, since other than yourself, the dungeon is filled with goblins, skeletons and monsters, aka other players. What the fuck? In order to have a chance of surviving in any of the 3 dungeons, you must make a difficult choice, choosing your class. Since I'm a 300 IQ genius, I choose the wizard, and quickly realized, damn, this game is kinda hard, and not in the way you expect. So before you throw away my critique as just being skill diff, let me explain why I think the game is difficult for the wrong reasons. But wait, it also has a great potential. I'll categorize my critique into the good, the bad and the ugly, but before we get into that, I think I should give you some overview of the gameplay. You might think that you're about to watch the deciding moments of battle, but this screen right here, it's actually just an execution cutscene. The actual battle screen is right here. Choosing your gears and skill are 90% of each fight. And I don't like that. In the dungeons, you'll spend most of your time fighting hostile mobs. So that's what I optimized my wizard build for, taking out monsters with ease, with the magic machine gun being the most effective. But the second you try and use it on players, this shit is no longer viable. Now before you say, yeah, no shit, I tell you to wait. Because it highlights a very bad thing. The meta is crystal clear. Remember when I showed you the skill tree and said that's where battles are decided? Yeah, I lied. It's actually on the character select screen. No matter how many times I optimized my wizard spells, what I saw was deciding. Whatever magic did, melee weapons did 3 times better. But I did not dare abandon my wizard class, so instead I worked around the melee meta by making my own custom class. I call Midnight Shanker Shaolin Disciple. You're essentially a wizard that can use a flaming quarterstaff and go invisible to shank folks. Now, this right here did damage, but one problem still remained. Wizards have like no health. So even though I used 2 warding abilities, it would not matter cause my health and armor were still so low. But not to be defeated, I queued one match after another and fought tens of duels, and came into 2 distinct fighting philosophies. You got the runners and the fighters. The fighters already have the meta druid build that will turn into a panther and maul at you, and the runners know every single red spawn in the game where you can just avoid enemies. And here is one of my biggest problems with the game. Everything moves so slow. Chasing this dude down was impossible since both of our speeds were maxed out at like 3 miles per hour, so this wasn't like a super fast and furious cool race, but me jogging towards him for 2 minutes, always maintaining the same distance. In Tarkov, if you're not using the most meta gear, you can still kill anything with just exceptional luck, or skill. But in this game, if you don't stick to the meta, anyone that wants to kill you will kill you, and anyone that doesn't can just walk away. And this is what stung me the most. When I was playing the Sorcerer and someone saw it, they just said, I'm sorry you picked that class.
I'm sorry, dude. Didn't know you
I let my head down and I just left that fight. But don't worry, I vowed to make sure that Sorcerer was the best class in the game. But before we get into that, let me rapid fire some of the good, the bad and the ugly things in this game. The absolute best thing is that this game is still in early access, so nothing is set in stone and in my opinion it's just destined to get better from here. But because it's in early access, it's unbalanced and a bit broken at times, with tons of glitches existing that exploit the enemy AI, and most classes and abilities that are kind of unbalanced. It's actually a pretty good looking game with a lot of different environments, enemies, objects and classes, but even though each monster is different, the way you engage with all of them is kind of the same. All have quite basic attack patterns which are just walk back, walk forward, bonk. There is tons of gameplay variety and each class feels quite different, but each class isn't viable. No matter how good the sources were, I knew it would still be better to use a sword. The combat has a potentially high skill ceiling, with each attack having custom hurtboxes and dealing different damages. But at the same time, a lot of the combat skill, in my experience, comes from understanding the kind of janky attack patterns. It's oddly reminiscent to the first Kingdom Come game. Alright, that was the good and bad, but now the ugly. The ugly is that I think the game has a long way to go to fulfill its true potential, even if it manages to at all. I think the combat needs a huge overhaul to maybe make things faster and more interesting, and give us actual dashes and parries, instead of purely relying on WSAD and swings. And if the game doesn't deepen its combat, I think it would be a tragic waste of potential. I would mention that the trading system and quest system are pretty bare bones, but since it's early access, I won't be complaining. But alright, now let me get back to my Sorcerer class. What makes the Sorcerer unique is his ability to cast auto spells, and combine some of them in order to make new ones. And the Sorcerer can also use a longsword, which is always handy. Even the best combined spell in the game don't rival the abilities of a sword. So I decided to use my magic in a more supplementary than offensive way, which is why the Golem became the best spell. Now, it still has plenty of faults and is more often useless, but the more important thing is that you can summon him to be a nuisance to your enemies as you go around using a sword. Cause yeah, this dude is not that amazing by himself. So the best way to use the Sorcerer I found was making the Golem into a Magma Golem, because more importantly than damage increase is the lava pool that he leaves on the ground. It does great damage and is by far his most useful feature. So you simply plop the Golem down in doorways and nothing is able to get past him. A monster tries attacking or walking by him, the lava kills it. It's perfect. Now, against actual humans, it's more useless, especially in open areas, since they can jump and weave it quite easily, and you're still squishy as a sorcerer. But in the right circumstance, where your golem distracts your enemy, you're in the best possible spot to pick up your sword and kill him honorably from the back. Hello folks, so I thought I'd do a little quick live commentary, maybe give out some tips and tricks. Just because I feel like I'm qualified now, and mostly because the video isn't at the 8-minute mark yet. Don't click off. Don't click off. Yeah, this is entirely just to get the watch time. I've been a bit busy, that's why there were no videos. But hopefully there'll be some sooner. Alright, I guess I should give you a tip. They don't tell you this, but it's X to press X to remove your weapon. And then once you have two of your spells, click X to combine. Now, the lag in the game does happen. The goblins, to weave their attacks, just walk backwards. There's nothing simpler. Essentially to any enemy that throws shit, walk to its side. Except the goblin that throws like a, what's it called? Like a sling. Have no idea how to dodge him, and just try and out DPS him, there's no other way. There can be loot in urns and barrels, so make sure to destroy them, like this right here. And mimics do exist in the game, they come from chests. Yeah, as you can see, I'm a very professional. Ooh. Ooh. This is a bit drippier. And that's the biggest part of the game. Making sure you're the drippiest hero because, you know, in the end that's what matters. The other good spell is the flamethrower. It's not amazing by any means, but it's significantly better than anything else you have. Yeah, as I said. If you can't land a headshot, don't even bother, because the damage difference between headshotting and not headshotting is like 3 times damage. And I feel like I'm legitimately like those professors that stream their lectures. Anyway, we should... Yeah, this cocksucker, I have no idea how to dodge him. Okay, back to why am I so slow? Yep, that guy threw a fucking sling at my ass. Alright, let's show off some 0 damage attacks. Whoop. I'm a professional, don't worry about it. I'm a professional. Alright, I think I successfully padded the watch time. Press like if you liked it, press dislike if you disliked it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully soon. Yeah, comments. Leave those. Anyway, love you. Bye.